Right now, oil is sitting at $95 a barrel, and the Strait of Hormuz, the single most important waterway in the entire world, is effectively shut down. The International Energy Agency just called this the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. And here is the thing nobody is talking about. When oil does this, silver does not just move, it launches. Welcome back to Silver Signals. I am Yali Zhang, and if you are watching this on March 12th, 2026, you need to stop whatever you are doing right now because the market just gave us one of the clearest signals we have ever seen on this channel. Silver closed today at $84.81 per ounce. Gold is sitting at $5,122. And the energy complex that powers every mine and refinery that touches precious metals is in absolute chaos. The International Energy Agency, the most respected energy body on the planet, released its monthly market report on Thursday and stated that the war in the Middle East is creating the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market. 8 million barrels per day are expected to disappear from global supply in March alone, which is roughly 8% of total world consumption just vanishing overnight. The Strait of Hormuz, which handles 20% of all oil that moves across the entire world, is effectively closed after Iran launched another wave of attacks on tankers on Wednesday. The White House even suspended the Jones Act, a maritime shipping law that goes back over a century, desperately trying to get more domestic supply moving between American ports. And when governments start tearing up century-old laws, you know they are truly scared. Energy is not just a commodity you put in your car. It is the foundation of everything, and every silver mine on the planet runs on diesel. When oil goes from $65 to $95, that is a 46% increase in energy costs for miners in just a matter of weeks. And when costs explode like that, miners cut production, defer capital spending, and slow walk expansion projects until supply gets dangerously tight. Tighter supply meaning the same or greater demand means one thing for the price. And I want to know what you are thinking right now, so drop it in the comments below. Are you holding silver going into this? Are you watching from the sidelines? Or are you loading up? Because this is one of those moments where the community conversation is as valuable as anything I can tell you. Roughly 60% of silver demand every single year comes from industrial applications, including solar panels, electric vehicles, semiconductors, medical devices, and military electronics. Silver is already in a structural deficit, where the world is consuming more than it is mining year after year, and layering an energy shock that crimps mining supply on top of an industrial sector that will not stop making solar panels creates a compression that is genuinely powerful. Here is the twist that most analysts are completely missing. The IEA announced the largest ever coordinated release of emergency oil reserves in history, 400 million barrels hitting the market to try to cool prices. Oil spiked anyway back toward $100 because the Strait of Hormuz is physically closed and you can release every barrel from every strategic reserve on the planet. But if the tankers cannot move through that choke point, those barrels simply do not get where they need to go. When governments exhaust their biggest policy tools and the market still does not respond, that is the moment historically when hard assets stop being a hedge and start being a destination. Go back and look at 1973, look at 1979, look at 2008. And every time the energy system suffered a genuine structural shock, precious metals did not just hold value, they ran hard, with silver moving faster and further than gold every single time. The futures curve for oil tells you everything you need to know about where this is heading, with deferred contracts still pricing crude well above historical averages all the way out to the end of the decade. That is not a market pricing in a quick resolution. That is a market telling you this disruption is structural and that the setup for silver at $84 right now is one of the most powerful we have seen in years. The governments of the world just tried to stop this with the biggest emergency reserve release in history, and it did not work. And historically, every single time this pattern has played out, precious metals have been where wealth went to survive and grow through the chaos. The setup for silver right now, with energy markets and historic disruption and industrial demand that cannot simply be switched off, is exactly the kind of environment that rewards people who are paying attention before the crowd figured it out. If this video gave you a new angle on what is happening right now, do me a favor and hit that like button because it genuinely helps more people find this content at exactly the moment they need it. Subscribe to Silver Signals and hit the bell because we are here watching these markets every single day, so you do not have to do it alone. This is Yali Zhang. Stay sharp, stay informed, and I will see you in the next one.